it's finally time to take a look at two very important concepts, and I'm talking about change of character, or for short, CHOCH, and break of structure, or for short, BOS. So first of all, a break of structure occurs when we break to a new high in an uptrend or break to a new low in a downtrend. So if you, for example, take a look at this market right here, you can see that this market breaks to a new higher high when we break this point right here. So this specific break is what we call a break of structure. And when we break to the upside in an uptrend, we call this a bullish break of structure. And as you can see right here, we have another example of a bullish break of structure. Why is this a bullish break of structure? Well, at this point right here, this market breaks to a new high in an uptrend. So this right here is yet another BOS. But what about the change of character? Well, a change of character is when the price fails to maintain lows in an uptrend or fails to maintain highs in a downtrend. And if this sounds complicated, I think it's much, easier to show this. So for example, if you take a look right here, you can see that we have a low. And remember, in order to maintain the uptrend, we need to print both higher highs and higher lows. But at this point right here, you can see that the price actually breaks below the low. So at this point, the price is no longer in an uptrend because this uptrend failed to maintain the low. So this right here is what we refer to as a change of character. And since we break to the downside, this is what is called a bearish change of character. But what about this break right here? Well, now we are in a downtrend, and when the price breaks to a new low in a downtrend, remember what we have? Well, this is a break of structure, right? In this case, it's a bearish break of structure because we are in a downtrend. Once again, what about the next break? Well, here the price once again breaks to a new low, and since we break to a new low in a downtrend, this right here is another bearish break of structure. But now then, what about this break right here? Is this right here a break of structure or is it a change of character? Well, remember here, in order to maintain this downtrend we are currently in, the price needs to hold this high right here. So it's actually not until this break right here we see the bullish change of character, right? The other break down here did not break the last high of the uptrend. So this break doesn't change the character of the trend. However, and this is very important, this right here, when we zoom in to lower time frames, is something we call a minor break of structure, or in other words, an internal break of structure. Because remember from earlier in the course, remember when we talked about the fundamental trend pattern, all market states, so uptrends, downtrends, and sideways markets, can be found on all time frames. So while we have break of structures and change of characters on one time frame, when we zoom in, we will see that we will find many kinds of trends and many kinds of breaks on the shorter term time frames as well. And this is exactly what we're gonna look at next. So now guys, it's time to dive even deeper and take a look at internal and external break of structure and change of character. And if you think this right here looks complicated, don't worry, I will try my very best to break this down in a very simple manner. So here, the first thing we need to understand about this chart is that right now we're looking at two time frames at the same time. And the black line right here is the high time frame. So you can, for example, imagine that this right here is a daily chart, while the red chart right here is the low time frame. So if the high time frame is the daily chart, perhaps the red chart right here is a 1 hour time frame. So you can imagine that we're right now looking at a daily time frame and a 1 hour time frame at the same time. And now, and this is very important, we have, as I said, external and internal break of structure and change of character. And the external break of structure and change of character are high time frame breaks, while the internal break of structure and change of character are low time frame breaks. And here, just because we're looking at two time frames at the same time, we really need to not overcomplicate things. The principles here are the exact same as what we talked about earlier in the course. So remember, the external breaks are still the exact same thing. So for example, right here, just as we talked about before, this is our break of structure. But now, because we're looking at two time frames at the same time, we can write an E here before to just mark that this is our external break of structure. And remember, the next break of structure was right here. So here we have another external break of structure. And just as before, right here, remember we had our change of character. So now we can write this out as our external change of character. But now, since we're looking at two time frames, we will also have internal breaks. So for example, right here, what is this? Well, since the 1 hour chart is currently in an uptrend, and when we break to a new high, this right here is a break of structure, right? And because this is on the low time frame, we call this an internal break of structure. Right here, the price once again breaks to a new high, so we have another internal break of structure. Here we once again print a higher low, but the move from this low actually fails to break this high right here, and we print a lower high. But remember here that it's not until we break this last low of the downtrend, so it's not until we break this point right here, we actually get our change of character, right? And since this is on the low time frame, we call this an internal change of character. So this break right here actually indicates that on the short-term time frame, the price have shifted from an uptrend to a downtrend. And when the price shifts to a downtrend in the short term, this is actually an indication that we're talking about a pullback here on the high time frame. So by more closely analyzing the trend on the short-term time frame, we can get early indications of when the pullback on the high time frame starts, and we can use this knowledge to take better trading decisions, and as a result, make more money. This video was just a very short clip from our full market structure trading course. To watch the full video, simply click or tap on the screen right here. I hope to see you all in the full course very soon.